Hello, it's Erin, and I'm here with my dog because he busted in here a minute ago and he jumped up in my lap. So I started anyway. Okay, there we go. The reason I'm doing this video now is because I was searching for this kind of content back when I was in my earlier stages. I'd say like year 1 through 3 of my awakening. So I know that this is speaking to the common, everyday, average person, not someone who started off being a guru on a mountaintop, but someone who, like me, I was a kindergarten teacher and I had been a teacher for 13 years and I was a mom with kids had twin boys who were 8 years old at the time. So I was not prepared in any way. So I'm going to just go through my list, but I'm going to start with number 10 first. We're going to get down to the number one thing last. So stick around. If this sounds interesting to you, if you feel like you are going through a spiritual awakening, you have already, or you're somewhere in the middle of that or very curious, there might be something here for you. Okay, number 10 is please focus on your body. Your body is going through so many changes and it's all happening in the body. It may feel like it's happening out here because that's where you're having like a big psychic intuitive opening and your third eye is kind of starting to come on and your crown is starting to open as a channel. It may feel like everything is up here, but you need to ground it into your body. And if you don't have any practices already in place, develop and begin that practice. I had yoga, but I didn't use it regularly enough. When I did use it, I would be like, oh, why am I not doing this every day? Start a regimen where you are moving energy through your body every day and grounding into your lower chakras. Yoga is really good for that, but there are other ways. Basically, the movement of energy through your body is just so important now. Your body is working so hard. You're being constantly upgraded. Your vibration is raising, and so the body itself is detoxing. And when you're tired, lay down and honor your need for rest. Okay, number 9. Just because you had an awakening doesn't mean you need to convert everybody around you and fill them in on the truth. Don't do that. First of all, it'll alienate you from everyone around you. It will annoy them. They won't understand. They're not ready for it. They didn't have an awakening. You did. They're exactly the same way they were 6 months to a year ago, that they've been their entire life. And that includes your husband. Okay? Like, don't expect everybody else around you to suddenly have this big expansion. Just, you want to share it, but find the people. There will be people out there. Find the people who are having a similar experience, are like-minded and open to talking about this kind of stuff. Then you can have your party. But until then, use your discernment and don't go around, trying to open their mind. If their mind wants to open, it will, and it will in its own time. You just being you and being an example of someone with an open mind, or someone with a new interest in self-healing, or whatever it is that's going on, could be inspiring to them, or it might end up pushing them away. Whatever it is, it's perfect. Leave it alone. Let it be. Okay. Number 8 is focus on self-healing, not healing everyone around you. I feel like this is very related to number 9, but this is more focused on if you become someone who feels very connected to the healing arts, learning Reiki. Like, I learned Reiki, and then I learned quantum healing hypnotherapy, and then I became a light language conduit. I was really outwardly focused a lot. And it wasn't until probably like the last 2-3 years of my life that I have begun to really understand the importance of bringing all of that in to myself. I'm the one. So even though it seems like you're going to want to go out and heal the world, start with yourself. Focus on you. Put those Reiki hands on yourself. Make sure that you are focusing on new levels of self-care. The ohms came on right then. Woo! Okay. Playlist is connected. So you're going to want to externalize, because that has been the pattern. Focus on everybody else but myself. But we're bringing our consciousness in. That which you see out in the world that seems wrong, it's wrong because it's wrong in your consciousness. And that is a reflection of it out there. So you work on it inside yourself. And that's probably going to mean shadow work. Okay. So self-heal. Don't focus as much on healing others until you have really dug into yourself. And I mean years. Next. And I feel like this really follows the last one. Don't be afraid of the shadow work within yourself that you are being guided into. Unpleasant emotions, crying, grief, sadness, grief and sadness for things you don't understand or remember or even know about. Just huge oceans of sadness coming through you. This is generational trauma. This is your ancestral wounds coming up for healing. And maybe you're the first real self-healer. Maybe you're the first person to be awake in your entire family history. And so it's just all starting to come through you. You are that person. You've trained for lifetimes for this. Don't be afraid of it. This is what you're here to do. Embrace it. Lean into the emotions. Lean into the sadness. Learn or reteach yourself how to cry. You will learn. It's going to happen anyway. But become comfortable with it. Learn a technique like tapping. Or learn tapping sooner. I'm talking to myself from 7 years ago. Right away, go out and start watching some EFT tapping videos and start using it on yourself, because that will help lower the resistance to the feelings and emotions that have been blocked in there for so long that want to come through and be released, to make space for this new light that wants to anchor in. It'll be a purging cycle that happens. Bring in your new light, purge out and detox. Bring in your new light, purge out and detox. It's natural, it's normal. Don't be afraid of it. It's all part of the process. We might call that soul integration or ascension, but that is what we are doing. We trained lifetimes for this. Don't be afraid of it. You have all the support you need, and this is your purpose. That's why you're here. Embrace it. All right, number 6. Ooh, okay, so I did bring the tissue for this one because I knew I was putting this one on there, and I know that there are some people for whom this will really resonate. There are some people this will not make, it'll just be my number 6, which is fine. I'm talking to myself from the past. The kids are fine. There's this huge mom guilt wound that we have to heal. And you heal yourself for them, because their souls chose this too and chose you as a mother, knowing full well that this was going to happen. In the quantum, in the places where we all decide who's going to be who and what's going to be what, at the soul level, we all decided we were going to do this. And maybe the people who came in to be your kids are actually older and wiser than you are. They're your teachers. So when you feel like you've made mistakes with them, because I wasn't awake at all. I can honestly say I was not a conscious mommy for the first 8 years of their lives. And I'm sure that I was just pouring out my own baggage onto them. But I endured many, many years of extreme mom guilt over this stuff. The fact that I'm not crying through a whole box of tissue at this very moment is just a testament to how much self-work, how much shadow work I've done about this. But if I could go back and talk to myself, I would tell myself to chill out. It's okay. They're going to turn out fine, and they will know who they are. You don't have to show them who they are. They came in knowing, and they're going to keep showing you who they are and showing the world who they are without your help. They need your support, of course, but you are not molding them. It might be the other way around. So give them that respect and that honor, and give yourself the respect and the honor of knowing you did the best you could, and celebrate that. All right. Number 5, your higher self. And I'm going to use the words higher self, even though I don't like that vocabulary word. I don't like that term. I still use it though, because that's kind of like how I spiritually grew up on that, if that makes any sense. Everybody calls it the higher self. And in the system of quantum healing that I was trained in, we called it the higher self. I now think of it more as the oneness. It's the oneness. Or you could think of it as your deep self or inner being. It's not higher than you. It's not above you. This is not a hierarchy. And we grew up in this patriarchy, hierarchy system in a duality where someone's always higher than you, someone's always in authority, and you're always down here or whatever. You are not separate from your inner being, your soul self. Not separate. And your guides are not separate from you either. And I went through a lot of confusion and pain and unworthiness feelings. I'm just telling myself from the past, you've got it wrong. That's not how it is. It's how it feels because of the separation consciousness that you're in, that they are you. And it's as cuddly hugging your childhood teddy bear. You don't have to grovel or worship someone higher than you, because you are that which you are seeking, and it's just an expanded form in a different vibration, a higher vibration. It's still you. It's still part of your oneness. It's just going to feel strange because of our separation consciousness. Okay, that's all I can really say about that. And I hope that that reaches someone who may be struggling with that in the same way that I did. All right, number 4. Ooh, we're getting down. We're getting down. Okay, number 4 is what I call the culling, the weeding out process, which may sound really harsh and really bad, but what it is you're going to have to let people go. You're going to have to let perhaps whole social groups or situations or places go. It's about vibrational alignment. You're not in the same vibration that you were before, so certain people, groups, whatever it is, might not resonate with you anymore. And I fought this for so long. I fought it and I fought it and I felt bad and I felt like a bad person. And I thought, I don't know why I don't want, why isn't this person calling? Why do I want to call them? Don't feel bad about it. This is what happens. Now, for every door that you feel like is closing or person walking out of your life, imagine that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new doors are opening now. But you can't hang on to the old stuff, just like you can't hang on to the old pain. It's got to move through you. And there are people that will just fall away. And it's nobody's fault, and it's not a sad or a bad thing. It's just a thing. It's about resonance and vibrational alignment. Okay, number 3. This is a fun one. If you dream or fantasize or have visions of something that seems far away, it seems too good to be true, it is real. It just hasn't manifested yet into this form, into this reality, this time-space continuum yet. And it may not take the form that you think it will take, but you keep dreaming, you keep fantasizing, you keep connecting to that vision, you keep connecting to it, because that is something that is real. That is a version of you doing something so fantastic in a future, like now moment. And it has a really big resonance. It's making an impression on you already, even at this point in the timeline. So something up ahead in the future that you are doing in the future you, is so big and so incredible and so fulfilling to your soul that it's resonating with you now. You don't have to touch it yet. You don't really have to do anything with it yet. So understand that that doesn't mean you need to run out and try to make that exact thing happen right now. Don't put pressure on yourself till it feels right, till it feels good, till you want that, and the opportunities will come. But just know that it's real, okay? It's real. It's not just some weird fantasy dream that you need to feel ashamed about. That is a real manifestation somewhere up ahead in your future. Okay. And don't get all, about the form that it has to take. So don't tell God what costume he, she needs to wear, he, she, they needs to wear when they walk in the door to greet you. Okay? Just be open to it. All right. Number two, this is so big. So we're getting to the bigger ones, and number one is the biggest. Number two is there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. This is supposed to be happening. And yeah, even though it seems awkward and weird and, uncomfortable sometimes, it is actually supposed to be happening this way. And it's not just happening to you, it's happening to a lot of people. It seems like just you because of how big the world is and because not everybody awakens at the same time or even in the same lifetime, but it's supposed to be happening. Okay. Number one, you're only here to be you. So, shedding the samey program. I gotta have an identity that's like theirs or like theirs or like theirs or like theirs. The whole social media. Like I need to be like them, and I need to, all shedding the group think programming. That is so important. And don't feel like it has to happen all at once. It's going to happen slowly, but people, opportunities, experiences, feelings. There are certain things that can only happen to you when you're being the most you. Does that make sense? So there are opportunities, there are people that will walk into your life, there are the things that are going to happen for you, but only when you're being your most authentic self. So the shedding of the old identities, the shedding of the that which is not you, the untruth is so important. Lean in to what makes you particularly tick. And that could mean that you're going to totally get into some weird stuff that only you care about. Really immerse yourself in what you feel curious about, what you like about you. And if you don't know yet, that's just because there's a lot of programming in the way and a lot of survival consciousness that you don't feel safe yet, maybe exploring that, but you will. And then you'll get some momentum with it, and then it'll start to feel really good being you because you'll start to resonate with your soul. It's happening. Hopefully, it's going to keep happening and picking up momentum. Trust me, you will get there. And that is what I needed to hear from myself 7 years ago. If you're still here and you made it to number one, I hope that something here resonated with you. I hope that it might help you, someone out there in some way. If it did, give me a thumbs up or leave a little comment and let me know which one resonated with you. Okay. Sisters and brothers out there, keep being the most you that you can be more and more every day. Bye.